Alright, there we go. We're live, and I updated, uh, what's the thing? XSplit, that's what we used to broadcast. Anyways, welcome everybody to Ilderon Tales. This is Group 2, Pride and Prudence, and it has been a hot minute. Tonight we have, everybody in attendance except for JD, who will be joining us late.
He's on the Discord right now.
Is he on the Discord? I don't see him. Venture Dad's offline.
Yeah. He was just there. I saw him. Like, no lie, he was just there.
Lurking, waiting.
Sure, right.
Then he went away.
But yeah, we have Ramon controlling the evil villain of the campaign.
It says I'm not evil.
That's exactly what the evil person would say if he were hiding amongst us.
Then we have Jordan controlling Brock Brooks, Robert controlling Roman Drake, and JD just did pop in, controlling Tristan.
Not a liar.
Yeah. Eric had to leave the group for personal reasons, starting college and life and all of the other things that come along with it, and don't hold anything against him, although it is sad to see my role go, because it was a fun addition to the campaign. That said, it has been a month since Group 2 has last met, so I am just going to try and... I only got halfway through the session and rewatching the last one, so if I miss anything, just remind me. But when we were last with Group 2, it was the day of the memorial. The party split in two. Half of the party attended the memorial, and the other half of the party accompanied Draylin Madison, who was being escorted through the house as he had asked Urkus for a personal favor to visit the Nakart Library. When Draylin and Urkus and Myrule arrived at the library, originally Roman Drake was going to accompany them too, but Draylin said he only needed one person there.
He told me to fuck off, and you know.
He went and fucked off.
I fucked off.
When they arrived at the library, it turns out that this keep is a lot older than they originally anticipated, and that Draylin is possibly a lot older than he than he appears. He seemed to know of secret chambers inside the library, and that used some lost magical arts, and he needed the blood of somebody living in order to open the lock for the chamber. To which Myrule happily supplied the blood instead of Urkus, so we didn't have to discover Urkus's true identity. But, no, I'm kidding. Once he was inside the chamber, there were keepsakes that were, that seemed nearly ancient, and he grabbed one of them specifically that looked to be made out of the Earthfire metal Valpyr, and left the rest for the party to sort over. From there, we went back to the memorial, and Brock, Jessica, Tristan, Career, and Roman all attended the memorial service and paid their tribute to the dead. And then Brock and Career went to get jiggy. And I don't 100% remember what Roman and Tristan did, because that's about the part of this rewatch I got to. But I do remember we ended the session with the party coming back together about what had just happened, and you guys were deciding who to tell on Draylin getting the mirror. Jessica's family was at the memorial. I do remember this just off the top of my head, and you guys talked briefly with her mother, who was named Geax, Geax or something. I gotta pull up her character sheet. And her father, Idamero. And they relinquished Jessica to your care a little bit longer. and warned that they had already lost their 2 sons and were not keen on losing Jessica. But
Can confirm we re-killed one of them.
yeah. No, yeah, I don't think anybody told them that you guys had seen one of their sons.
No, it's probably for the death.
Yeah, and they left on the note that regardless, they serve the greater good, and left Jessica with you guys for now. That said, we're going to pick up at the night of the 34th before everybody's going to bed. The events with Draylin Madison have happened. The party is reconvening, and I believe you gave the book to... Oh, yeah, you guys were talking about it, and you shooed Nathan out into the hallway, and she began screaming that she wasn't going to tell anybody about the things you guys stole and the people you killed. And Career had to get up from her sexy times to say, somebody needs to watch that idiot before, she gets us all thrown in jail. And went to talk to the party, and that's where everybody is now.
Yeah, I do have in my inventory Lyra's tomb, so I do have the diary that they found.
Okay.
So that did happen.
It is missing one love letter, but there are lots of love letters in there, so...
I do recall that my role was trying to make sure that it maybe wasn't obviously as old as it was.
Yeah.
Or implicate Draylin, but it's like, oh, well.
Weren't we pretty much done with this conversation?
I feel like we had pretty much wrapped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all, done for the night. Like, the next day, I would examine the stuff more.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering, what was the decision to tell Anadelia? Do you guys tell her about the mirror, or were you guys not going to tell her about that?
I mean, we've been pretty upfront.
Okay. All right, we
know.
we can skip on to the 35th.
I wanted to use the night since I'm not injured, I'm not horribly maimed or injured at this point in time.
Well, nobody is.
So instead of using the night to rest, I want to short rest and read more on this book to see if it has any important information or pertinent information to us.
All right.
Brock spends all night reading a girl's diary.
Brock just wakes up the next morning crying, just like, what's wrong? Nothing. The book had nothing important to say. It was just really emotional.
I felt things.
Oh, fudge. There was something I was looking up in the player's handbook, and now it just slipped my mind as I was making that joke.
Sorry.
No,
Cursed
that's
objects.
fine. Let me check my rules loot just to see if he wrote down everything you guys got. Because I remember what some of them were, but I didn't write all of them down. Okay. A keepsake necklace. I know we got that. The Bar of Valpier. Does anybody else have the loot written down?
Ramon might.
Yeah. If you tell me if you do, because I would like to just transfer that to you guys so you have that information. I don't have to give it to you.
I think my role had it.
Okay.
Well, Eric had it.
Well, no, I was saying, yeah, if you had it written down. Alright, so you guys go ahead and write this. This is in the party's possession. You have 2 keepsake necklaces. You have 9 bars of Valpier. My rule has 1 love letter from Draylin.
Oh.
Hey, what's up, JD?
I've been here. I'm just eating.
Okay, and there was something on the shelf Urkus grabbed. Did you write that down, Ramon?
All I remember was some kind of necklace.
That may have been one of the two necklaces.
Yeah.
The one that Urgus grabbed, we were contemplating I wasn't, but they were contemplating might have been cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember Urkus grabbed one
spell on it.
specifically. I know what it is that Urkus grabbed. I just wanted to make sure you had it written down.
Let me look in my inventory. Maybe I have it in there. Has been a minute.
Yeah. It's like I want to make sure you guys have all this so I don't have to, go and bumble through character sheets and all that.
Nope. Do not.
Okay. Oh, that's what I was looking up, the color of it. Okay. Urkus has... Urkus has a necklace, and attached to it is a large I don't know the word for like a cylinder, but not a cylinder, like a triangle formed cylinder of purple gemstone on it.
A prism?
Hey, there we go. Has a purple prism on it.
Go shape.
Yay, math.
Yeah. Our triangular prism, because I think a prism can be like a crazy polygon.
Triangular prism.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So, you guys sleep through the night. However, when you wake up, Myrule is not there in the room with you.
Dun dun dun.
Otherwise, the night passes rather uneventfully for everyone else. And by uneventfully, I mean you guys rolled garbage on your percentile die, and bad things happen, but they happen to Myrule, so... Like, horrendously bad. I do, above a 95, events happen. You guys rolled a 97, so...
Holy shit.
Yeah.
But you would wave that all the way as, yeah, it all happened to my roll, and now he's dead.
Oh, no. And he had those gloves, too.
Damn.
Yeah, he could not carry the chest of stuff. So the chest is still there.
Make sure none of my shit was stolen. That's the first thing we want to do when the rogues disappear. So, I checked. None of my shit's stolen, right? You're not taking this opportunity to fuck me over,
No, I'm not.
Okay.
That's why I sleep with all of my valuables under my pillow.
By his valuables, he means his 2 knuckles.
I don't even have one. Right.
Oh no, I didn't mean your brass knuckles, like your fists. Like, I just imagine Roman
Just like on my hands.
Alright, what are you guys doing today? It is the morning of the 35th. Oh, by the way, just depending on when you guys go to sleep, this is the start of the Wake of Earth. The day celebrating the day Valrir, the Ascended of Earth, became a god. Around 7 in the morning, bells start chiming all around the city. You can choose to sleep through them, but that is symboling, the start of the holiday.
Well, I'm going to get up and enjoy a holiday. Rock Books is always in time for some festive stuff.
I'm gonna get up because it's loud.
I'm also getting up because it's loud.
It's like Brock looks in the Christmas spirit. Hey guys, Merry Christmas, everybody. You're just like, fuck you.
So this
Remind
is
me.
Christmas.
Last
As a bard, I enjoy this music.
I have not had my fantasy equivalent of coffee yet.
Alright, what do you guys want to do today?
I have to go talk to a man about magically infused knuckle.
And getting Psycho's necklace back. So I'll go with you.
I kind of want to go with them because I want to go check shops for magical instruments since everybody's getting magical items now. Those if I should at least have one.
I would like to take the time to note that I'm about to go visit a blacksmith, apparently a good one, and we have Valve here.
Bars of Valp.
Okay, I'm definitely going with them then because I'm the charismatic one.
He
Yeah.
loves me.
By the way, too, you guys have something that guy crafted out of Valpier. It
We
does. Yeah, you bought the sword for career.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it does not look good. Like,
I
this
know.
thing is jagged. It's still got stone sediments inside of the metal. Like, he couldn't fold the blade any. Like,
I know, we made a blacksmith very upset as we pointed out all the flaws on this weapon.
yeah. Okay, I'm just making sure you guys know, like, you just bring them 8 bars and like, hey, make something with this. And he's like,
Make a shitty weapon.
I'd also to note that it's like a shitty metal to work with.
yeah.
So I don't know if there's a what's the word? Like this is like higher grade shit, so it's better to work with. Like that top end cocaine.
Well, you guys do. Well, Brock knows this. I don't remember if he shared it with you guys. But
Oh yeah.
I totally have. Oh shit.
there are 2 types of Valpier circulating the world. There's the old
What is
Valpier, which is
Which
just
is what we got.
yeah, which is just Valpier, and the Earthfires have been very active lately, and the Valpier mined from them has been much more. The properties that it has have been much more enhanced, or I guess more sensitive.
So old Valpyr doesn't have any magical properties because it's been so long.
Well, it does.
Is that the case? Okay.
It does have magical properties. Valpier is known just for its effect on the soul, as it's kind of something that, you know, touches both my body and spirit, which is why it's used on slave collars as, you know, the little bit of it that is.
Yep.
But it is of what's coming from. I guess the way to describe it as before it was kind of like rubbing against a soul or you know, hitting it with the mace. The new stuff
Yep.
is much more is much more potent at, you know, touching the ethereal realm.
Gotcha. Okay. I also have a how-to manual on how to make a right ring.
How to what? Oh, how to make right
I'm gonna
run.
make a right
Yep.
run.
And so we could see if this blacksmith's willing to make our own.
Has Brock, and I'll let you answer this question. Has Brock read that manual in depth?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, because I have it in my possession. Like anything I have, I believe Brock, you know, like
Yeah.
takes the time to study it.
He would know it takes at minimum 50 people dying to create a weapon like that.
Oh, Brock.
I was like, does your recipe indicate at least how to work with it?
Well, I mean,
I'm evil.
Yeah.
Look, I don't claim to be good.
The way the weapon, the way the manual describes making Earthfire weapons, the only place to make these things that, you know, the metal is somewhat malleable or usable is underneath the fires that the metal is mined from. And the method that's been developed over the years is a guild of blacksmiths will conspire to make one of these weapons. One will go in and work on it till they die. Then the next goes in, and then the next goes in, and then the next, and then yeah.
Okay.
It's,
are their lifespans shortened as they're working?
No, they're
500 years.
Think about working inside an active volcano.
Okay. So yeah, their lifespans are definitely shortened.
Yeah, it's kind of like you can only work on it so long before you're incinerated to death.
Gotcha.
Man.
So what I'm hearing is I'm going to gather up the military by using a bunch of homunculi, and we're going to destroy an entire race in order to make this thing work.
Oh my god, I'm making the Philosopher's Stone.
Worth
it. Seems fine. But we could also just get a wizard to 6th level.
True. Save ourselves some time.
Alright, so, where's Tristan going? What group's he in? Is everybody resolved to go to the marketplace?
Sounds like it.
Let's go to the marketplace.
Alright. So, you guys, go to meet... Rotero! Yeah. I had to pull out my notes, to remember his name. Yeah, I know.
Soul.
Name, God.
You may not have hands.
I have one of my contacts now. It's Arrow. Ripped as fuck blacksmith. Really cool guy, says magical item.
He cool guy.
Alright, so, yes, today in the Forge Ring,
Oh, wait, before we go, I am taking Career and, Nathan with us.
Oh yeah, it's been...
Psychos with us?
Yeah, it's been so long, I forgot how many NPCs you guys had. So you leave Aaron at the house?
I'm definitely bringing Career, if she's willing, and Nathan.
Okay.
Aaron can stay and organize my underwear board this time.
Some more.
He's done such a good job with the sock drawer. I want him to focus on something else.
Okay, Aaron, as you give Aaron, those orders, for the first time, you see a glimpse of sadness over his face before he tries to hide it.
What's wrong, Aaron? Do you, not want to organize my drawer?
He's gonna say to you, no, of course I do. It's much better labor than I'm accustomed to, but it's, the wake of Earth. It's normally people don't work on this day. But I am happy to serve you. You are most generous, my lord.
Well, see, I don't believe it'd take you all day to organize the drawer. I mean, after you're done with your, duties in the morning, you can go about your way and enjoy the celebration.
He's a slave.
He can't go by himself.
Fuck it, come with us.
Hey! I mean, you could have him travel around with a servant of the estates.
Nah, come with us.
Alright! Aaron, you see Aaron, clutch his hand into a fist and just kind of, yes! And then he joins the party. Alright.
What he's getting himself.
So you guys head to the Forge Ring, and it is a event to get to the Forge Ring. You guys are walking from Somia up to the city proper, and
yep.
You do better than going through Aline or the other side of the city. But all along the way, you guys, especially in Somia, you guys are harassed by street performers and beggars incessantly at every turn, either asking you to spare a gold coin or show some charity, or to try and show you a trick. that they've developed to, you know, play off of all the people in town right now. Would you guys donate anything to the beggars?
Tristan is of the frame of mind that one should be able to use to pull oneself up by one's bootstraps.
In other words, get it yourself.
He helps those who helps themselves.
I'll give a copper piece to each beggar on my way.
Okay, keep up with copper on your own. I don't keep up with copper. Just...
I don't keep up with copper either. But how many beggars did I meet?
100.
Roll it.
You just dropped 500.
I mean, 100 beggars, like 1 gold coin.
Yeah. You meet 12 beggars.
Okay.
On the way there, and I mean it. Like, you know, most of the time walking through Somia, you might see 1 or 2, and you know they might feel bold enough to stop you.
I'm also keeping an ear out, since this is a festival, for anybody selling what they claim is magical instruments.
Might
Okay.
not be a thing considering people here like you.
Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Insight?
Yes, you are stopped incessantly of people selling magical goods.
I rolled a 16.
Yeah, and you're gonna know, at least walking through Somia, and most of Maiden's Watch, each of these people stopping you, like, these goods aren't magical. They're things like a lucky spoon, or, you know...
I was gonna say...
I also said instrument. Like, I was being specific. Like,
A spoon's an instrument of eating.
Magical potion, a magical spoon, I'm not gonna care.
Do instruments of torture count?
Well, no, a spoon's an instrument in, like, the right hands. You ever seen, like, playing the spoons takes talent.
Yeah.
But anyways, through much effort, you guys are able to get to the city proper. Passing, you don't pass through the main thoroughfare that leads to the Palace District on the route that you guys are taking, but you guys can see that there is a celebration happening in that area. Otherwise, though, you do get to the Forge Ring. And today, the Forge Ring is different. Where most of the time there are different tents and pavilions set up all throughout this large public park of blacksmiths, like, working on works. Today, there are the few blacksmiths still working on things near the donation metal houses. However, the rest of the Forge Ring, that isn't occupied by houses, the large, what would be a field if it wasn't winter, is turned into a tournament ground. There are men throwing spears, and just generally being excited about their tosses. I actually have to bring up the game that they're playing. Anyways, though, Rotero is still set up near the metal house, because he came here to craft weapons and show off, and he is not done.
And chew bubblegum? And bubblegum.
Yeah.
That man will never be done.
Alright, Wake Tournament. There we go.
Am I still connected?
I don't know.
I still hear you.
You can hear what I am saying.
Suckmaster General's not lighting up. I hear you through Robert's mic.
You don't hear me through. They're hearing me through you. They're hearing you through me, not.
Yeah, which is really the preferred No, I'm kidding. Anyways, it seems that every person throwing spears has a accompanying storyteller, colorfully describing each toss. Doesn't seem like there is any official judges or anything judging this tournament. It just seems to be a display for the crowd. That said, you guys find Retiro's pavilion set up for the day. Him and his 3 brothers are each one showing off a different ware that they've made over the past few weeks of being in the town. The frost mace is completed. However, the tournament seems to be gathering more attention than their wares.
They should probably take off their shirts.
It is probably really cold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't roll a weather check for today. It is snowing. It's a white Christmas.
Wow.
I need to go get me like a coat.
I am also wearing a
Mink
coat. We go back and retroactively have coats.
I don't own a coat, so this is a problem I was going to deal with regardless.
At least you're not. Well, I mean, we work for rich people. I mean, they probably.
You guys would. You would be able to buy cold weather gear, as I'm assuming, everybody coming to the capital would have it. If not, that's how you get. That's how you put yourself susceptible to frostbite.
Frostblight.
Yeah, that.
So when you get attacked by ice demon.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, I speak fiend.
Because he's evil.
Rotero does not have a ware he's showing off. He is just kind of leaning back and describing the process to make each weapon to the crowd. When you guys walk up, he's describing the ice mace. And he says, "Infused from the mountains of Ardor themselves. It bears all the love of the gods." And he's going to notice you guys step up and say, "Ah, good friends, welcome."
What up, Taro? Long time no see, dog.
It's been a day.
It feels like a month.
It has. It's been so long that I didn't know what greetings I wrote for these places, or rather for where I wrote the festival knowledge where. But yeah, he's gonna say actually he's just gonna say Happy Wake Day to you guys.
Happy Wake Day to you too.
And he's gonna snap and say, "You came for your brass knuckles."
Yes. Yes, I did.
And he's gonna scratch his head and say, "This is..." And he's gonna just like nod you to the side, and
He broke my knuckles.
he kind of looks embarrassed, and he tilts his head down, and he starts talking under his breath, and he's gonna say, "This is kind of embarrassing. I was able to craft one really, really well, and the process worked a lot better than I thought it would. But I'm gonna need another day."
Another day?
He scratches the back of his head and says, "Probably, or maybe one more."
I'm going to whisper in the woman's ear, "Why don't you ask her prices?"
But that was what I was gonna do. I know how to negotiate. I don't just talk with my hands.
I mean...
Anyways, look, if I have to wait another day, I think we can shave a little bit off the price.
He's gonna say, "Well, all the danger is still there. It's just my contact And he's gonna scratch his forehead again and say, "Look, I really don't know how to say this. She'll be better tonight, and I'll have it for you tonight. Same price, no changes."
All right, I trust you.
I'm gonna chime in. Go. Well, since this is taking like an extra day, is it okay if we have?
This conversation is happening super low. It is. It's gonna be DC 17 to try and listen to what he's saying, because like there's stuff going on in the background, and he is like, he's got his mouth covered and he's talking real low. He's shoulder to shoulder with Roman. It's not something he's proud of.
Okay.
Oh no, because that's
That's not a 17.
okay. Look,
I can't hear shit. It's too loud.
Okay.
look. If you can get it to me tonight, I'm not gonna argue about but I want my collateral.
The necklace?
Yeah.
He's gonna nod and say, "Certainly, and I'm really sorry about this. I'm not used to working with amateurs."
Like it's fine as long as you get it done. I understand things don't always work out as planned.
He nods and walks. He walks behind the pavilion, going to, of course, where they keep their chest of knickknacks. And he comes back with the, was it a phoenix feathered necklace or a phoenix claw?
I think it was a feather.
Right. Yeah, he comes back with the blue feathered necklace and hands it to you. And says, you can probably sell that for a good coin if you're ever desperate.
It's not really mine to sell.
He nods and says, "I understand. And once again, if you could keep this between us, I'm real sorry."
Should I come back here tonight to get it? Or... Well, he said tonight, but I don't know if that's like, I'll do it tonight, you come tomorrow.
He says, "You know what? I'll have the sorry sap deliver it to you."
Do you know where to send it?
He shakes his head, but you are outfitted in the surreal gear. That's a question.
Yeah, I'm wearing the...
Okay, I'm gonna roll him an intelligence check and see if he puts one and one together. He doesn't.
We're at the Nacart Manor.
He's gonna scratch his head again and says, "Sorry, I'm from the north. Where is that at in town?"
Do I know where the fuck that is in town? I just kind of wander.
You just follow someone else's lead.
Right? I was like... I don't tend to walk by myself.
It is in the south side of town, in Somia. If you want Roman to try and describe it, you can roll a survival check for him, just recounting the directions.
I'm gonna roll that just because I've never rolled a survival check before.
Believe.
So...
Alright, yeah, you just say, it's the big building, Somia, you take this turn and this turn, and he nods along, appearing to have gotten the information you've given him.
I really think it'd be better if I came to you.
He nods and says, "We're staying in the city proper."
Where exactly?
Would it?
Like what inn?
The Tired Dagger? I believe.
Didn't I beat a guy up in there?
It's on the docks leading towards Maiden's Watch.
That's where we went to go find Dagger Dude. Oh god, this could be a really fun pickup.
That's where we found him in the back alley.
Ooh, I'm sorry. Silver Dagger Tavern.
Darn.
Sorry.
I just remembered they were similar.
Apparently all the inns in here are named after weapons. Specifically daggers.
It is a popular theme.
Duly noted. And then I'll just say thank you. And I'll see you later. Does anybody else want to talk to Rotero?
I kind of do, but I kind of don't, because I don't want to insult him by asking him for a better blacksmith. Because the dude's so great. But he's not the best blacksmith.
Whoa,
Hey,
whoa.
hey now.
Whoa.
Did you say that out loud? Did you just insult his face?
No, I told you what I want to say. But I don't want to say it to him. Yeah, I'll turn to Otero and go, hey buddy, so, I had some more to help you. You want to try and make a better radio?
Brock, no.
He's gonna look at you and say, I've tried my hand with that metal. It's not the easiest thing to work. I could craft you one out of steel.
I will ask him to anyone else like up for the challenge.
Oh, that's probably not a good way to phrase it.
Well, no, it's not. Like, trying to figure out the best way to phrase it, not piss off Otero or not make it very upset. He seems to be more like mad.
He's going to nod and say, yes, I've kept in touch with smiths from all over the region. One of the best reasons for coming to the Wake of Earth is that we can all meet up and share a drink and share our new techniques we've discovered or developed over the year. However, the man I'd recommend is an old mentor of mine, but I haven't seen him this year at the festival.
Does he normally come to the festival?
He nods and says, well, he was actually absent last year too.
Have you had any work with him within the past year?
Let me look real quick, because there's a very specific reason why he hasn't talked to this guy.
Is it because he's dead?
That's what I'm worried about. Like, then you just go find out the fact that he's dead and be like, man, I got my hopes up and you shot him real quick.
He's not dead, but he might as well be.
He's number 49 of 50.
He's going to shake his head and say, last I had talked to him, he had gotten caught up in some smuggler's circle, but the man that taught me was the most noble in morals. I have no doubt that was, and he assured me that it would blow over. But I have no doubt that wasn't him, and it was just a misunderstanding.
Right.
Gonna go ahead and turn this music down a little bit.
Alright, Brandon, I heard just about every other word on what he was saying about being the most noble of blacksmith. Is it essentially he got mixed up in smuggling?
Most noble of morals.
Okay.
Yeah, he said it was a misunderstanding, and his mentor assured him that it would blow over.
Okay.
That was the last he'd heard of him.
But that was within the year. Like
yeah, that was last year.
Okay. Like just checking on timelines. Well, where does he live? Maybe something we could check on after the festivities are over.
He's gonna turn to his brother holding the mace. Say, hey, have you heard from Malik? Man's gonna shake his head, and then he's going to look to his other brother standing there, and he's gonna shrug, and the guy's gonna say, I don't know, it's been so long. I mean, I can give you his old address.
Okay, alright, yeah, okay, you're not talking about, okay, yeah.
Malik, not that one.
I mean, I was wondering too. I was like, I've heard this name before. Okay, how do you spell that name?
I don't remember. Let me look real quick. Malick. Let's go with that spelling of it. If it is wrong, I will correct it later. This is a name that hasn't been said for many sessions.
Alright, Malik, blacksmith. Able to maybe smith black Valkyrie.
Oh, snap. You guys are with Jessica and Career.
Yeah, we are.
Listening to this.
I have.
Nathan has no idea what's going on. Jessica and Career seem to have perked up and nodded, and Career is pulling on Brock's arm and saying, perhaps we should go.
Alright, well, thank you for the information, and we'll be on the lookout for Malik.
Wait, did they perk up because of their passive perception?
No, they didn't. They rolled a it looked like something snapped to their mind.
Like they recognize the name.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so we say goodbye to Taro, and our merry band will be on its way.
Alright,
Can give Jessica back her.
Yeah, I was like, I would like to give just like a back her necklace.
Hey, she takes it immediately and starts wearing it, eyeballing Urkus with the greatsword.
I knew I forgot something. Jessica, and I take it off and hand it to her. I believe this is yours.
Yeah, she takes it and thanks you, and returns to her silent self. Career is going to say to the party as you guys are walking away, and say, we should just go enjoy the tournament. This is more stuff we don't want to get mixed up in again.
Sounds like you know something important.
She looks around and says, don't we all?
We all?
Yeah, Jessica certainly knows and nods, and she wouldn't say anything,
Without prodding.
Yeah, Career is going to say, oh, I mean, no, we don't know anything. Career looks like she's lying out of her butt.
Alright. I'm going to just...
She rolled a 1.
Okay. That's not going to fly, hun. What is it? What are we forgetting?
She's gonna look just very pressed for a moment and say, tell me, what did you guys think of the Silver Sigil the last time you dealt with them? And they wiped that man's memory, and they blew up that cultist in.
That was cool.
That was cool? I thought the whole party was horrified of them.
I'm kind of freaked out. Like,
Jessica's been saying we should join them, and everybody's like, no!
I'm gonna watch one man wipe out a bunch of cultists. Inspiring and also terrifying.
Brock feels as if it was a dream, that entire sequence, as if he wasn't really there.
And she's just gonna lean in and whisper and say, that's who you're dealing with again. That name, Malik, it was in the journal, the one you showed me.
Oh, can Brock do a check so that the DM can tell him what he read in the journal?
Yes, you can. Don't you guys have a copy of it, or did you give all your copies away?
No, I have a copy of it still. I just don't want to pull it out in public.
Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and, upon remembering, I'm gonna say DC 10. Like, it is...
Also, Brock's the only one that actually read it, so...
Okay, so...
Well, Tristan knows, too. Tristan recited it as Brock transcribed it.
And
Jessica... yes, and Jessica stole it for you guys. DC 13, you know the sins of Alshindoris, the last sin he has listed that is unatoned. He condemned an innocent man to death. The Silver Sigil contacted Alshin and ordered him to kill a specific talented blacksmith named Leroy Malik, and he couldn't bring himself to do it, so instead he planted stolen goods on the guy and got him thrown in jail for life. And that one was...
What a reasonable guy.
That one was marked as unatoned.
Sweet. So... to the prison!
Oh.
Prison break!
Okay. I don't
The
think
gang goes to
we'd
jail.
be able to go there right now during the festivities.
What are you talking about? It's the best time to go. Maybe they'll give them a break since it's the holidays. Actually, there's probably less guards because it's the holidays.
So, you want us to go to the prison?
All right.
Break a man out. We've never met. Because...
Hey, it's
Wait.
Lutero's best friend and mentor.
Is he in prison in this city?
The journal doesn't say. You guys don't know that.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, is he even imprisoned in this city?
Well, considering this is the last place that Alshindoris ended up, and this is also the last entry in Alshindoris' journal, I'm going to assume that this is the city in which the thing happened.
Career is just gonna, like, rub her hand over her face and say, we just narrowly escaped death the other night, and we were finally done with these Silver Sigil people, and you're going running back headfirst into this?
I'm not running back into the Silver Sigil, I'm running back into a man who's in prison. It should probably be...
A man who's only falsely imprisoned because he's not dead.
Yeah, Career is going to gesture like the Will Smith meme gesture at Roman and say they wanted him dead.
And, like...
And you want to free him for the exact reason they wanted him dead.
Career did not put that together, and she's gonna look and it's like, he could craft it They were trying to stop people from... I think
Maybe
we really should
people.
leave this alone. And let the people do their jobs.
I think we should dive headfirst into this.
You don't know anything.
Wait, how do you even know? We don't even know how he looks like.
Right?
I mean, we could just go in. We can go up
We're
to
just
the
gonna
guards
kick the
and
door in and
go.
start yelling, Roy Malik!
Well, no, we're not going to do that because then any Joe Blow who doesn't want to be in prison anymore can go. Yeah, I'm Roy Malik. No, we go talk to the officiating government. Go, hey, do you have a Roy Malik in prison here? If so, we would like to speak with him.
How far gone is Elfin Doors?
He has been called a loon. He keeps raving about wild adventures he's had in the city and the crazy things he's done. Nobody believes him.
He's probably telling the truth, the whole truth.
I mean, we could also, go to Albertson Doors.
The last conversation you guys had with him, I think he thought you were his grandchildren.
Oh no, he's gone.
Yeah, but he's gone in a good way. Like if he has at least some memory left, it'd be the best.
I'm not watching right now. Lol.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But there is where the black X is on Maiden's Watch. If you guys are looking at the map, that is the major barracks of the Royal Army. There is a large prison/dungeon there, where criminals of the capital are kept until their trials or sentences are carried out.
Well,
first things first.
all right. I'm still gonna do some shopping. And second thing second, like we had to decide whether we were going to go see out of the dungeon and talk to, or attempt to find Roy Malik first. I'm up for the, let's go talk to Alfred first, and go with the loon if everybody else is okay with it.
This is going to be a question. I think I'm just going to roll to see who would ask it. Aaron is going to ask, my lord, what, isn't your sister-in-law a member on the council?
We should bring him more often.
I mean, that's not a helpful question or suggestion at all, because Jessica's going to add immediately. There are dozens of councils.
Also, isn't like Jessica a member on one of these councils?
No. Her family specifically is in charge of the security at the chantries.
Oh, so the security would have no idea what prisoners are. Oh, chantries.
No, because they're
Never
just
mind.
in chantries, yeah.
Just the chantries.
I mean, her family might know a little bit about it, as you know, they do have to work hand in hand with the city guards. However, you know, as far as pulling sway at the prison, it's not like a soul heart can walk in there and say, "Release this man."
Well, I mean, I don't even really want him released from the prison. I just want to talk to him. And then if he's like, "Oh yeah, I could totally forge it out here," then I want him released.
I can totally do this thing that got me nearly killed.
Hey, you still live to tell the tale.
But so anyways, we'll discuss this while shopping.
And looking around.
Looking around.
All right. You are looking for a magical instrument.
Yep. I'm assuming there's a magical music store in this town.
There is not a magical music store.
Larry's magical strings and things.
Magical strings and things. That's the perfect place to go.
Be all puppets.
There are parts of the the javelin throwing contests. There are members. As I told you, every entrant or every person throwing has a bard or some sort of announcer singing about them or telling a story as they participate.
Is there a prize?
There are prizes. It is some sort. Yeah, it is some sort of tournament. There are people winning things, and you can see them cheering and the crowd getting excited. However, it doesn't seem to be well moderated. It's more so who can ever draw up a reaction from the crowd. Seems to be like you. To put this on display for you, there is a guy who is really good at throwing these javelins, who's probably been out here for a little while since you guys have been here. But his accompanying bard is not that good, and even though he's seemed to have thrown the most so far and have hit the most targets, he hasn't seemed to have won anything yet.
All right.
Contest.
So, should I go with Jessica or should I go with Roman as my partner?
Well,
She's more dexterous than I am.
She's more dexterous than you are.
I'm pretty sure.
So I'm gonna turn to Jessica. It's like, hey, you want to join in this little competition? I could be your accompaniment, and they will love a little girl. It'd be so different from all these big buff dudes.
Something. I could be your bodyguard.
She's gonna just brush her hair behind her ear and say, I've never been good at the Shiafears. I'm not good. I can do the feats, but I'm not good at the other part.
She's good at what?
She gestures to the people throwing. After each person throws a javelin, they just kind of raise their fists in victory and kind of revel and rev up the crowd as the storyteller or performer kind of helps hype up the crowd for their throw.
That's easy. So I'm going to turn just like and go. All you have to do is throw your fist up into the, make a fist with your hand, throw it up into the air, and go yay. And your adorableness would win over the crowd.
She seems really uncertain. Roll me a persuasion check.
Blindly rolled persuasion check.
I'm not helping you.
15? Jessica is pretty malleable, and I'm gonna say on that 15, she looks a little bit more up for it as this round of throwing is finishing, and the person who won this round is getting awarded a gilded chess piece.
Yeah,
And she kind of sees the trophy and licks her lips.
She wants more trophies.
all for glory.
Alright, you and Jessica enter?
And JD apparently, because he was like something bodyguard.
Alright.
No, I was making a reference to an old song, which apparently none of you got.
I missed it.
Alright,
I
so
thought you were hinting that you also wanted to join in.
as you guys move from the pavilions towards the field, the crowd is kind of gathered around, and there are several archery targets set up in the distance. Some of them are are way too far for any like reasonable person to hit with the javelin. So the forge ring is huge. But nonetheless, you know, there are some people there aiming for them. This seems like a kind of like a driving range, as far as you just come up on the green on your side and you just take positions. As you guys are lining up, next to you is a very well-dressed female. She takes off her winter's wear, and she's got a leather vest on and a thick shirt, and she starts
Two
flexing
18-inch pythons.
Yeah, she starts rotating her arms. Her bard is actually the person who just won the last round. The bard that was talking for that person steps over to her and bows. The person on the other side of you guys, oh man, you guys got an easy competition. The person on the other side of you is a young child. About just like a... Yeah, about just like a size. Well, anybody can participate. About just like a size. And the accompanying musician, I don't know how to describe them.
Is a creepy old man.
Yeah. No. It's a middle-aged gentleman, but he's got a flute. However, he doesn't look very good at playing it. And then the final contestant on the far side of you guys is a very buff fighter. This guy this guy has been the one who's been throwing the javelins since you guys have been here, who did not win last round. There is a kid telling different stories about him as people walk by. The bard from the winner last time is going to step forward to the rest of the crowd and say, what will we wager for this round of She of Fears? Surely these men seek glory, and women,
and small children.
But what good is glory without the treasures to go along with it? As he does so, the crowd tosses forward a few gold coins. Who's the other bard? Who's the man with the flute is gonna step forward and say, "Why, my little gangly Curious here. He's fought on the fields of Kalu. Tigers and lions and all of the sorts. Surely more than just a couple coins will interest him." One of the guys shouts back and says, "That kid looks like he can't even beat a rodent." The final person, the final kid, is going to gonna also roll a charisma check and try and rev up the crowd and say, Altier has just been warming up all day. Surely if you persuade him, you'll see the finest throwing you've ever seen in your lives.
I want to rev up the crowd if this doesn't work for him.
One of the members of the crowd throws a hat.
Okay. I'm going to turn to the crowd and go, my little friend here is, crap, I forgot what family she's from.
A whirling tornado of death.
A whirling tornado of death from the Soulheart family. I believe everyone should be intrigued as to what she can do.
19.
And I'm going to use my inspiration on that.
All right, yeah, they're gonna look over Jessica, and you're gonna hear a couple whispers because there are nobles here and common class citizens, so some will know her and some won't. And as they talk back and forth, one of them is going to take off a... one of them's going to take off a belt pouch and toss it to the toss it in with the rest of the loot standing near the bards, and say, "Aye, see, she puts on a good show." That said, that seems to be all of the loot you guys are going to get for this round.
Okay.
Alright. So, everybody has, everybody's kind of taken their position, and the First Lady, reaches into the barrel of javelins in front of her, takes one out, takes, like, perfect, elegant form, and then just hurls this thing. She does not seem very strong at all, as this, doesn't even come, like, if the target's 100% away from her, this javelin maybe gets 30% of the way, and is definitely far off to the right. As the javelin plants itself in the ground, Brock and Jessica are going to hear the bard just kind of look down for a moment and say, "You're not making this easy on me, lady." And he turns to the crowd and says, "Why, Lady Fudge, what is that family's name?" He's going to say... I gotta look up this, noble family.
I need to write down this name when you tell me it.
It is, specifically one person's family that, I don't have it on this sheet, which is bad on the DM's part. Oh, yes I do! Zaishin! There we go. It was... because all the names are coming back around. I am not introducing any more characters. Anyways, the man says, "Lady Zaishin is simply weary from the day's travel. Why, you've heard the tales of her brother failing miserably to slay a wolf. To reclaim her family's honor, she went out this morning and slayed several. A whole pack of them." The crowd's gonna clap a little bit at his statement, and he's gonna gesture to her and say, "Why, nobody would dare fight her in hand-to-hand combat." She flexes. She flexes after her display. Doesn't look very, very good. The next person is going to be Jessica. She...
Alright, I gotta wait before she goes. Yeah, multiple questions. Is it okay to have the performance during her throw?
Yes,
like,
you can.
Start. Alright, so I want to use my Bardic Inspiration die and give it to her as I'm performing for her.
Alright.
And I also want to, since I'm not good at actually verbalizing it, I'm just going to tell it and have you like do it to the crowd.
tell them a tale of her fighting a sorcerer who managed to summon a giant, multiple-armed ape yeti, and and her dead brother, and a fight of with her dead brother.
That might not be the best thing to say.
No, like this is obviously like this is to rip up the crowd. Also, I'm not telling where it's happening.
No, but like, don't
it's
mention the
like
dead brother at all, because that might not be.
Do we actually know about the dead brother?
Okay, we won't say dead brother then. We'll say like armored knight at the same time. And like I'll put her as the lead role in everything, where it seems as if she was the one who fought them single-handedly.
She did.
Was she the one who dragged Nathan out of the fires?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, no, like that's the story. Like she did this all by herself.
And then you ended up with no, seriously.
But this is like in a high mountaintop. And this is,
What's your bardic inspiration die? D8?
It is a D8 now, yes.
Okay.
Woo! Have to end
Also rolling performance. Roll to 13.
All right. So you are going to go on this elaborate tale of Jessica's heroics as she's getting ready to throw this, and the crowd just does not seem to be buying this. Like, there's no way this little girl did any of that. Then Jessica hefts the spear as you finish, and then throws it and hits one of the far targets in the distance. And the crowd is silent for a moment before, like, they look back at Brock and then start clapping.
Wait. They're just like during the silence, she puts her hands up in the air and goes, "Yay!" And then I finish my tune.
Oh wait, you tell her to revel in it?
Yeah, I told her to do that beforehand. Like after she hits the target, for her to put her fist, make a fist, throw it up in the air, and just go "Yay!"
Okay, she doesn't do that. Do you tell her to?
Yes. Like, this is when you put your fist up in the air and go "Yay!"
She does so smiling. Or she does so not smiling, but looking really uncomfortable. And then, she puts her fists up, and then slowly the crowd starts applauding, and then breaks out into cheers. All the while, she looks like she's taking it in, but is still kind of uncomfortable by the attention.
Yep.
Alright, so next is the kid next to you. The man next to the kid is going to say, young Kyrus's skills will show all that he needs to, but please allow me to entertain you as you watch. He begins playing on the flute as the kid grabs the spear and gets ready for his throw. And he makes a performance check. Alright, he begins dancing around. He begins dancing around as he performs, moving, distracting most of the crowd away from the kid as he dances between each of the people who have thrown so far. Weaving between you and Jessica, and then between Jessica and the person throwing next to her, and then that lady and her bard, all the way over to the pile of loot in front of the crowd, and then weaving his way backwards to the boy.
Give me a second. Because all my stuff got, I just realized what got deleted off my stuff. So now I have to look something up real quick.
Okay.
It didn't delete it. What you gotta do is go into your settings. If you'll scroll down to the bottom of your traits thing, you'll see the tooltip for how to change it back.
Yeah. Settings, gear tab.
The thing is, though, like it doesn't stay up long enough for me to read it.
Yeah.
Let's go to
If you open your character sheet, I'm gonna. Well, no. Well, yeah, I will pull up your thing off the camera. There we go. If you go to your character sheet, and I can follow along with you real quick, on the last cog, do you see it down there? Features and traits to simple, and it should put everything back.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Let me move this back on screen. All right. So,
I was going to do something. I just had to check on it.
Okay. What are you doing? As this is going on, the boy is throwing his spear.
I'm thinking about using cutting words on the bard so that his performance fails.
That is vicious.
Hey, you said it's not very well kept. So anything to win.
Yeah, no, it only works on attacks. That's what I was checking. I wasn't sure if it worked on all rolls or it's just attacks.
You sure your College of Lore doesn't let you use it on more?
I mean, I can check the handbook book for what I wrote in the thing. No.
Let's see, because each college expands on it. So, College of Lore, cutting words.
College of Lore gets you cutting words.
Oh, okay. Confident when creatures makes
College of Law doesn't get you.
When a creature that you can see within 60 feet of you makes an attack roll, an ability check, or damage roll.
Oh.
He did.
So yes, I can.
Yeah, he did roll a ability check.
Yeah. So
all right, roll me a d8.
Give me a second. Damn it, stupid backwards slash forward slash nonsense. Forward slash. What am I doing wrong?
It is the other slash.
Backwards slash, yeah.
Yeah, slash roll
D. D8.
Yeah.
There.
There you go. All right, you subtract. Yeah, you subtract 8 from his roll. Woo! That is not pretty. So yeah, are you just generally going to insult his performance, or are you going to try and throw him off?
I'm gonna try and throw him off, like, when he passes by me, I'm gonna go like that performance is actually gonna do shit.
Alright, he...
whisper that so he can hear me.
Okay. Do you step in his path a little bit? Because I'm imagining, like, as he's dancing by, this is a pretty complex dance he's doing that, you know, maybe he's paying too much attention to Brock and trips over himself a little bit. And hits a sour note before he regains his composure.
Yeah.
Alright. He seems to be, as he finishes, he seems to be eyeballing Brock, angrily. The boy, throws and does considerably better than the first person. However, much worse than Jessica's 27. On the final person throwing, it is, the fighter, says, his bard steps forward, the kid steps forward to speak on his behalf. He puts his hand over the kid's face and says, "I'm competing against kids and a stuck-up noble. Let me show you what true grit is made of." He takes a spear and throws it with, like, no form whatsoever. Just, his muscles, and, he does much better than the third thrower and the first thrower. However, still does not match, Jessica's, hit in the target. And he's gonna look down at his he's gonna look down at the kid accompanying him, and then he's gonna push him forward. The kid looks around nervously, and then pulls a rat out of his sleeve, and says, "Hey, watch this!" And he puts the rat on the ground, and he flicks a piece of food forward. The rat retrieves it and brings it back. The crowd doesn't look impressed at all. That said, the crowd begins cheering for Jessica, saying, "Number 2! Number 2! Number 2! Number 2!" As they do, the man who just threw last says, wait. These competitions have 2 parts. You said nobody can take her in a fist fight? All 4 of us. Right now. The man pulls off a pouch of gold and throws it forward and says, whoever gets eliminated moves on, and whoever doesn't gets to stay and play.
Wait, so this evolved into a fist fight?
This has happened a couple times since you guys have been over here talking. Most of the time, though, people will back out at this. And at calling the bluff, calling the moment, the noblewoman, backs out and says, "My swordplay is for the field only." And she bows, her bard following behind her, rejoining with her brother who won last round. The man looks at the child there, and the other child that's not Jessica, cracking his fists and says, "Come on, you know Shia fears are all for glory. Do you want to take a crack at it in a different direction?" The kid swallows, looking up at his bard. The man nods and throws in his flute into the stack of loot. They both turn and look towards Jessica. Jessica looks towards the party.
I turn towards Jessica and go, well, are you up for a fight?
Jessica nods and says, "Unfortunately, always."
I turn to the other 2 and go, "Unfortunately for you, she's always up for a fight."
All right.
Whirling tornado of death.
I will be playing support.
The man, or rather the other bard, the adult one, says this is just between the entrance. And he's going to...
Wait. No, I turn to the other bard and go, I thought this competition was in 2 parts. Part performance, part athletics. I believe that the bard should also be involved in this fight.
He's going to raise his eyes and say, "But our part is to entertain, not for these parts of the show."
I mean, I can be entertaining and supportive. Why can't you? Isn't that what all bards are able to do?
He looks down at the pile of loot and says, "I threw in my entry for Kiris."
Well, that's fine.
Is Brock gonna throw anything down?
Well, yeah, I'm going to throw in my gold pouch for Jessica, but I'm trying to think of a way to make it to where I can, I don't want to fight, but I want to assist her. You know what? I will. Yeah, she can fight. I will keep an eye on the other two bards, and if they if I notice anything that it seems like they're casting magic at their participants, I'm going to interrupt them.
Okay. The bard that you were just in an argument with rolls his eyes, and he as he steps off to the side, he says, "Would be a shame if this scuffle weren't to happen. Jessica, or rather that girl, would be the winner. Otherwise, if she was eliminated, it'd just be between you two." The boy and the man kind of look at each other before Jessica takes her stance. They all nod at each other, and immediately the boy and the man charge at Jessica. I'm just gonna do this as cinematic combat. And I'm gonna roll them 3 attack rolls each. Oof, that kid is going to do awful. The man is going to do decently well, and I will hold those there because they may become relevant. Alright. So, the fight breaks out, and they instantly gang up on Jessica. She dodges the boy really well, placing a couple of her strikes on him. He falls with 1 punch. No 1 punch Jessica intended. However, next, she faces off against the larger man, and as she kicks aside the small boy, he catches her in the gut with a well-placed punch. Jessica crumples before he tries to hit her again, but she barely moves out of the way, and as she gets back to her feet, she takes another hit, this time moving into it to take less of the blow. They are both tied for hits. And I didn't designate which die was which before I rolled them, so let me do that now. This is his, and that is Jessica's. He's rolling with +2, and Jessica is rolling with...
+5?
Yes, she is rolling with +5. And... She is, you're gonna see her stumble to her feet and just, place herself for this next hit, as she's trying to get her bearings about her, and this guy is just gonna kind of strike her right before she can get planted, and she stumbles back and, falls down or not falls down, but just loses her balance. The crowd goes wild at this, and the man looks back towards his kid. The kid pulls out the rat and starts tossing it in the air. The rat looks horrified, but nonetheless, the crowd's preoccupied.
At the rat, I noticed that because that's part of what I was keeping an eye out for, right?
Yeah, this isn't him cheating. More so as, hey, I just did something good. Make sure these people know it was good. Kid's like, look at this! Yeah, it's confetti! It's not really confetti. It's a rat being tossed up and down. He steps forward and puts a hand out towards Jessica, offering to help her up. And say, if you yield, there's no shame in that. It's double elimination. You can always come back and try again later. Jessica takes the hand, getting up, and says, "You fight dirty."
I thought Jessica didn't believe in second place.
She hasn't yielded yet.
Okay.
You guys want to say anything to her?
Like, I'm just gonna be like, come on, Jessica, kick it. Alright. Like, what would be most beneficial?
He's a jump bitch! Take him down!
Right? Come on, Jessica, you can do it! Show him what you're made of!
Are you going to give her your last bardic inspiration?
But I thought that was cheating.
I mean...
Tristan will stand from the crowd and say, "You've got this, girl."
You can give player inspiration, or if you're just shouting like that, I mean, I'll allow the bardic inspiration to go off.
Yeah, I will do that.
Ignored.
No, that's what I was saying, JD. You can give her your player inspiration.
Nah, just talking.
Alright.
I gave her the bardic inspiration.
That's a D8.
D8.
Yeah, I don't have that in front of me, so just roll that. Alright. Jessica is going to get up and square off. Is going to take the guy's hand, get up, and rather than yielding, she's going to just step around him and say, "Let's see how you do when I'm actually on my guard." They go again for a round of punches, and using the bardic inspiration, this guy seems to have some military training, as he's not just some riffraff here, you know, trying to win a strength competition. And Jessica goes mano to mano with him. It's hard to tell who won that last set of punches, as both him and Jessica seem to have taken pretty decent blows. They each start huffing, and the man drops to a knee and says, "You're good, girl. I'll give you that. How about we call it a draw?" Jessica looks back to the party as she has no decision-making skills.
Kick him in the neck!
God, what would I do?
You tell her to punch him in the dick.
I mean, Roman obviously told her to punch her in the dick.
The man recovering his breath is going to look towards Roman, and as he does, Jessica is going to charge him and punch him across the face as he took his eyes off of her.
I was thinking she was gonna punch him in the dick, and I would have laughed.
She knocks him clean unaware, and he falls back to his back. The whole crowd goes, "Ooh," as it was a very dirty move.
Whoa, 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 whoa. He's the one that stopped looking.
Also, he fought dirty to begin with.
Yeah, Jessica huffing looks towards Brock and says, "This is your job."
All right. I will give. I'll give a performance recounting the situation, making his dirty moves at the beginning seem fair that she gave a dirty move at the end. I rolled a 21.
All right. Yeah. The crowd hesitantly looks at each other before they start clapping, and it's like, well, yeah, you're kind of right. Jessica stands over the man and offers her hand and says, "You can yield." I'm gonna roll him a wisdom check before he tries to sweep her feet. She catches the action and kicks him in the face. He is unconscious.
Got him.
Yeah.
Jessica looks at the crowd and they begin cheering at that.
I'm gonna lean into Jessica's like lift up your fist and say yay again.
She does so, this time looking much more comfortable, also having a couple bruises across the face.
And I play her out.
Dun, 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 dun.
Do I need to roll a performance for that?
You can. Jessica is going to go to the pile of gold and gear and try and wrap her arms around it. She has... what is this? She has one bag of gold, one belt pouch of items.
I'm gonna walk over and be like, can I at least take some of the gold?
She...
You can keep the trophies. I want some of the gold.
She is going to, she's gonna look towards you and say, alright, I'll, share the gold, but you're right, it's a team effort. Would you like any of the other items? I think we can split them.
I would like to inspect the pouches. What all we actually got?
All right. The gold. You guys. Oh, that's not the right die. The gold you guys got 57 pieces between the two of you. You only got a little over a dozen gold on the ground. Most of the money was about 100 gold in the guy's coin pouch that he threw down.
Wait, how much gold did we get total?
You and Jessica both got 57.
Okay. Okay, I thought it was 57 divided between the two of us. Okay.
Yeah. The man, inside of the pouch is a well-crafted oath blade. However, since it was concealed, you know, the person wasn't seeking.
Yep.
It's just a treasure. It is a dagger and it gleams. And then there is the really nice hat and the flute that the other bard was playing.
I will take the flute and the nice hat. She could have the belt and the oath blade.
Alright. As you take the hat, you're gonna notice Jessica huff a little bit, but
oh yeah, I forgot she eyeballed the hat.
Otherwise, not at all look disappointed.
She doesn't look disappointed, but I know she's disappointed.
Put the hat on her head.
Alright, I'll give her the hat, and I'll take the dagger then.
Okay. Alrighty. You don't know what any of that gear does.
Nope.
However, most of it is nice.
So, dagger, oath blade.
Jessica begins walking away from the crowd, and they cheer as she leaves.
Well, that was entertaining, folks.
Yeah, the man did mention a second round, although you guys don't have to stay for it. As once again, you know, the tournament's not that moderated.
I think just I could beaten up enough. I don't want to go through another round of fisticuffs at her.
Alright, as you guys leave, another set of contestants start lining up for their chance to enter. Where are you guys headed? To the jail or to?
To the Market Street. Or actually, where is the market area and relative to the Nacard Place, Ocean Doors, and the jail?
You guys are in the city proper. So
Okay.
if you see that on the map,
Yep.
majority of the entire city proper is a giant marketplace.
Okay.
You're gonna find your more niche items, like your artifacts, family trinkets, and things like that in Aline, as that's where, you know, far trading happens. And you're gonna find your
Okay.
more established items like healing potions from alchemists or blacksmiths crafting goods in the city proper.
Okay.
So we would need to go to Aline to even try to search for instruments for it.
Okay. And where is
Now the
Doris
flute
is
Brock has is very nice, by the way. This thing has carvings on it, and it is well crafted.
I will hand it to Greer and ask her if she can tell me the value of it.
Does Career have Identify? I don't think she does.
She doesn't. No, but like.
Yeah.
She's
I'm rolling
American.
her a intelligence check just because. Yeah. Career is going to inspect it and say, "Oof." She's gonna inspect it and say, "This is really nice wood. I've only seen wood like this come from the Alyan forests. I assume it's elven made?" She looks at the characters on it, and I don't think she can read them. Or actually, Career might be able to.
What are the characters on it?
They are a combination of Celestial and Sunscript.
Yeah, I can't read that.
I can't read those.
Let's see. Simple. Proficiencies and languages simple.
Yeah, I hate they changed that.
Yeah. Oh, she can read Sunscript. She can read half of it. Yeah, she would know that it's Elvish. Well, not specifically Elvish, but relating to the religion of, you know, things dealing with the Lilia and the sun. Language proficiency. So you guys,
shit.
what,
I didn't realize.
what are you looking for in the marketplace?
So, now that my proficiencies is not deleted anymore, I totally have a proficiency with a lute, a harp, and a flute. So I can totally use that flute.
Yeah, there you go.
So, anyways, where is Alshindoris? He's in the Palace District, never mind. That's a dumb question.
No, he's in the city proper. He is
Oh, is
a
he?
sage of the people. Yeah, his, so I will use, let me find a color for you guys. Draw, and I'm going to draw in light orange. You guys are in the forge ring, which I guess I drew as a square for some reason, and peach wasn't at all what I clicked. Thanks. You guys are in the forge ring. Alshindoris's manor is in a terrace that overlooks the city proper and Maiden's Watch Bridge.
Alright. Well, since that's closer than Aline,
I said to go to Elsham Doors, and it's also closer to the jail, so I will have to just wait on my medical instrument.
Alright, so yeah, you guys are able to go to Alshandor's manor.
Yep.
Oof. Alright, there is going to be a lot of stuff happening here. So much stuff. Alright, so the first thing...
I'm going to get for ignoring him for way too long.
Yeah. First thing, you guys get to Alshandor's manor. And... Who was...
For so long.
Yeah, who is in charge of this place? Kiris Yaldor? Is that the right name for you guys? I feel like that's... I just got, Yeah, we're gonna go with Kiris Yaldor. Pretty sure that was his, who was running the manor after this guy disappeared for some time. Anyways, yeah, you guys get to, the manor, and the serving staff, welcomes you back. And before you guys can go any further into the manor, they run off and fetch Kiris, and he comes back. Bearing a armful of messages for you, and says, the sage has gone off in the past few days that he's been here, but nonetheless, you guys have been receiving many messages from people around the city trying to contact you. He hands about a half dozen to Tristan, and hands 2 to Brock, and 1 to Roman.
Why am I getting a letter?
You didn't read your mail?
Got already. Wonder who it's from. Dagger dude.
Yeah.
Tristan will squirrel himself away to a corner and begin going through the letters.
Okay. Tristan's are hand-folded. Roman's is has a pressed wax seal on it. As
Do I know the
does
seal? Does the seal, like, obvious?
you can roll me a history check to try and recognize it.
Yes, it goes or.
And
Oh, that's right. I've seen
You're a
those.
sailor. I get it.
You said a history check?
yeah. And,
Oh god, this isn't gonna go well.
So does Brock's. However, the seal on Brock's are different. I mean, so the better question right
What is
now
paper?
is, yeah, does Roman even know how to read?
I forgot.
For the people watching,
This isn't how you spell my name.
roll to 1.
I
Alright,
said it wasn't gonna go well.
Oh man.
who wants to handle their notes first?
I'll throw myself on that grenade.
Alright. So, Tristan's, 1 letter is, from your wife, as she was traveling to town with, your daughter, trying to find out where to, meet you at, as she believed you to be staying here. The, next letter is, from the mercenary Dove, who escorted them into town. It is poorly written, and you did not leave a place for him to drop off your wife and daughter once they were safely into town, and he was trying to make contact with you. Another one is a letter from Dove a second time. This time there is blood splattered on the paper, and he said that people came after him, and he hopes that you weren't trying to meet those people because he killed them. The third letter is from your wife again, recanting her time in the capital leading up to the holiday and hoping to see you. The fourth is from your daughter, or rather, fifth is from your daughter, hoping to see you for the holiday. And the final letter is another one lamenting on how massive the city it is and how hard it is to get in contact. And that after the holiday, your wife and daughter are traveling back up north, where they will be at your house. All of those letters do not state their location, as, Dove did tell you people were looking for them.
Time to go find Dove, then.
Who's next?
I'll jump my 2 grenades.
Alright, you have 2 letters, one from Alnick and one from Moa. The one from Alnick is, very, very polite, as, they went dark on you, and then, you went dark on them. And he's describing they have a person, named Rox Aaron, that, they don't know what to do with. And that Rox's safety is your concern, and you owe him 1,000 more gold. Moa's letter is much, much, much meaner. Basically, saying you got them to do your dirty work, and you left them without the necessary funds or supplies to get it done, and after they did, you failed to pay. She has...
I want to pay them up front.
Yes, the price went up, though. She has nothing nice to say about you. Although, she did tell you to stop by their safe house to try and contact them further.
Okay, how many days ago was that?
That was the day before you guys killed, or before the Heart of Embers killed the Sage.
Yeah,
Or killed the
Yes.
Krun Adagon.
So it's like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, no, they went ghost on me first. So
Yeah, which Alnick's letter does explain. I was like, hey, I understand, man, we've been out of contact, but you still got a bill, and also there's this person.
Yeah, I have no idea who that person is either. Wait, what was that guy's name?
Alnick. It is the human assassin out of the train.
No,
Oh.
what's the extra person that he
The
rescued?
Rox
You mean-
Aaron. Roxaeryn.
Random state for some reason. Is what I'm putting.
So you're gonna have to find out why when you meet him.
Alright.
He really wants 1,000 gold for keeping me in the dark.
And finally, on to Roman's letter.
I've finally come to terms with the fact that this exists. It's not witchcraft.
Roman's letter is from the Sage of the Chantry of Concordance. Not
Isn't
Sage,
that-
the Ocular.
Oh wait, didn't that kill his brother?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Oh.
Oh no. The
I mean,
Heart
there's
of
a short
Ember-
list of people that know how to contact me. None of them are happy about it.
the
Yeah,
Heart of Ember killed his brother.
Yeah, he writes you that his brother passed away in a house fire. and wanted to speak with you about it.
Well, that doesn't
this
sound like a trap.
This was the most recent. Or no, this wasn't. Tristan's letters were the most recent ones. This one came in a day and a half ago.
Well,
not a trap. It's fine.
It's a trap.
Anyways, though, nonetheless, many people have. Jessica would get letters too, but all of them would be relating to her family, which they already know where she is. So that's solved. Urkus, I'm sorry, man.
No one knows. The only one that knows me is dead.
Because you killed him. You're the main villain.
Imagine if this was like Valentine's Day. Urkus is just looking around like, nobody wants my family dead?
Until he sees everybody's faces drop, and then he's like, oh, wait, never mind. This seems like a good thing.
It's like if it makes you feel better. This wasn't a good loader.
Remember the story, the Heart of Embers killed him.
Wait, so yeah, it's like, do we like tell? Are we gonna have a sharing time at all?
Hell no, we're not gonna tell you.
No, I just meant like about what we read, because I assume there's silent contemplation.
After reading this letter, I feel like this is something we should tie up shortly. And is Tristan going to mention anything about his letters? If Tristan's not, I'm going to mention that I'm going to have to go back and meet with the assassin and be like, yeah, I need to settle this debt because I'm not a horrible person.
Debatable.
I hope you have the 1,000 gold.
I mean, I'm bringing career with me.
I hope you have the 1,000 gold.
Yeah, as much money as career makes, she doesn't make 1,000 in a in a day.
I have almost 1,000 gold. I also have a bunch of ruby pieces, but I didn't spend it all.
Yeah, I guess I'll know. Well, the Ocular wants to talk to me.
Oh.
About, I don't know, the tragic Heart of Embers related death of his brother.
Probably one. I mean, he may just want to know if you're come to peace or come to terms now that his brother is dead, so you can't get your revenge on him.
Or
you could totally
bad things.
That's true.
I don't want to go alone.
Here, take this.
I mean, I could go with you. I'm not sure how good that'll go.
I mean, to be fair, I am the one that, actively said that he wanted to murder his brother. So you can't be much worse.
You guys can keep talking, but as you're talking, Kiris looks over and runs away from the conversation to stop Nathan, who is prying a holy symbol off of the wall.
I will go fetch Nathan and tell
Kiris has already handled it.
Well, I mean, I am going over there.
Okay.
Like, it's obviously been noticed. I'm also going to tell Kieran and Aaron, or not Kieran. I'm also going to tell Career and Aaron we should probably go meet with the with Career's friends, and apparently the tab got bigger. For some reason, I need to go talk to them about it.
Career will brush a hand forward, like it's no big deal. Like, oh, Elnick's real reasonable. He's a softie.
Yeah, but what about the other one? He looks really mad in this letter.
She just winks and says, "That's why I try not to deal with Moa."
Smart woman.
All right, so I'm taking my posse
and bouncing. If anybody wants to come with me, like I'm going to go see them.
All right. Well, Roman and Urkus were having a conversation. What do you guys?
I guess I'm going with Roman. If he's gonna go meet with the sage, unless you want to bring everyone.
I mean, obviously I would want more backup, but maybe I give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, his letter didn't seem pressing.
And there's no actual reason to go today. It is a holiday. No, you could be enjoying it too.
Oh, I'm more than willing to take the day off from this. What are we gonna go with them?
Or y'all could go talk to Alsh and Doris for about the blacksmith.
We are pretty good at interrogations that take place in this manner.
Yeah, well, you two are probably the best at it.
I'll be nice and then stab them, and then he will be nice and not stab them, and then...
Good play, good cop, murderer cop.
Alright, so since that's the closest one, we'll handle that. Kiris leads you guys up towards Alshandorus's study, as you guys have been here before. The wall that was busted down has now been mostly rebuilt. However, the panes for the windows haven't been crafted yet, and the windows are boarded up. But there is still what little bit of winter sun comes through the windows on the other side of the room. The sage is sitting at his desk with a pen and quill over a journal, and he looks up, and Uriel septums you. I've seen you in my dreams. Kiris introduces you and says, "Sir, these are the visitors you invited for the celebration days ago." Alshin looks at Kiris and says, "Wait, if I'm throwing a celebration, where are the rest of the guests? I should be down in the foyer with them, enjoying the party." Kiris says, "No, sir. Days ago. Weeks ago." The man squints at him and says, yes, my memory." And, Kiris nods and says, "Yes, sir, your memory." He sits back down at his desk and says, "Very well. You've come to make a request of Gale Song?"
Well, we had a question about a blacksmith.
I forgot his name. Oh my god.
Malik.
What
Roy
was his
Malik?
full name? Roy Malik, yeah. Do you happen to remember anyone by the name of Roy Malik?
So you say the name, and like this moment of just panic washes over the sage. He goes pale. It looks like he's seen a ghost. He freezes for a moment, and then says, I don't know the name."
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Are you sure? We mean you... No, you seem to have been startled but when we said the name. We mean you no harm. We... Just trying to find some information on this person. He's a person of interest.
He shakes his head and says, "Make no doubt, the name sent shivers down my spine, but I can assure you, I've never heard it before. And he looks down at the book in front of him, and then you're gonna see him write Leroy Malik in it.
Is that a journal you're keeping?
He nods and says, "Memory is not quite what it used to be. Not what I'm keeping, but what I'm trying to remember."
So you write down things that... You write things down so you can remember what they were, in case you forget.
He nods.
Well, I don't think there's much else we can get out of him. I doubt he remembers. It's best not to push
he's
too
gonna
far.
look at you and say, "Remembers what?"
Well, the name seemed to have startled you, so it could be something you forgot. And maybe
he says,
remember.
"What name?" And he looks down and says, "Oh, and he pauses for a minute as that same terror takes over him, and then he just squints, and then just rubs his hands against his pupils, just trying to remember but unable to recall anything. And he says, "I'm sorry, my memory."
Your memory.
He says, "Yes, it's going. I can't seem to remember short-term things, long-term things. They're patches."
Well, I would say this one's a bust. We don't want to push you too hard.
He says, "Please, no. What are you here for? How can I help?"
Well, the man we're looking for is a person of interest to a member of our party, well, all of us really. He seems to be related to something that could be dangerous, and we want to make sure that he's not in danger or could be a danger to others.
Who
No
are
harm
you
to
looking
him.
for?
Leroy Malik.
A moment of terror, shivers down his spine as he tries to recount the name, and he says, "I don't think I've ever heard that name before." He goes to write it down and then sees that it's already on his journal, and he taps in and says, "I'm sorry, my memory."
We understand.
We understand.
I think we need to be going, though. Thank you for
He
your
says,
help.
"Wait, but what can I help you with? Why did you guys come
helped
here
us-
today?"
You have already helped us immensely, sir. We appreciate it.
And he says, "Wait, can I get your names? I'd like to try and remember your face."
My name is Irkus.
Roman.
He writes down both of them in the journal in front of him.
Won't come back to bite us at all.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody takes him seriously. He's fine.
Well, it's not fun.
Well, yeah, they only played slushy with his brain, so...
Yeah, Tristan is somewhat disgusted with this specter before him.
Oh, is Tristan in the room there? He's just, silently looming?
Just kind of silently looming, displeased with how far Alshin has fallen.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to recognize you.
Good.
Damn.
He was rolling on several levels of success, If he got over 10 on either of you guys, he'd recognize you as my grandchildren have returned. But a 9, a 4, and a 7 respectively. I didn't roll Tristan's until just now, so.
Mark Brooks is not in there.
My grandchild!
Sorry, I don't know if anybody heard me. Mark Brooks is not in there.
Yeah.
He is
No, yeah.
on his way.
So you guys leave
Wait,
Alshin?
here's the quick question. Here's the other thing. Jessica.
Oh yeah, she would be
She's
there
always
with you.
sulking. She's always sulking in the background.
Yeah, he would recognize Jessica. And as you guys head to leave, he'll point at Jessica and say, "Wait, don't you want to come give your grandfather a hug? I didn't know young Ranny had a child this early." Jessica's gonna look side to side as Alshin stands up and puts his arms towards her. She's, if nobody stops her, she's going to walk forward and give him a hug. Before he, squeezes her endearingly. And says, "Come back, to see me sometime. Your face is always a welcome delight here. Have to tell me what Ranny's been up to." She nods, looking very uncomfortable at the situation. Before affixing her gear and walking out with the party.
Who was the person that met us and gave us the mail?
Kiris Yaldor.
Was he there with us?
No, he left after he introduced you guys.
Okay. Okay, so since we're leaving now, I'd like to find him and tell him that if there's any more mail or such to, if there's any mail that comes in, again, to point it towards the Nakart Manor.
He nods and says, "Shall I tell the people dropping it off that, or would you like me to send a servant to bring it there instead?"
Could you mind sending a servant?
He nods and says, "And shall I bill the messenger fees to the Nakarts?"
Sure. The mail is coming. Mail is coming to our party. We're staying there. So
yeah. He nods and says, "It shall be done." And says, "The sage used to have me deliver many letters through back channels before, so it's not something I'm unaccustomed to."
Thank you very much for your service. So I'll meet up with the others, and I don't know where we're going now.
All right. I think the rest of the party was headed to see the assassins.
Yeah, Brockton and his harem are gone.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can head towards the assassins.
Well, doesn't Tristan have to meet or find his wife and kid somewhere in town?
They already left.
No, this will be there for the
Yeah, they're leaving after the
there
festival.
today.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still around for the festival. They're leaving the next day.
Well, all right then.
That's why I kept those like mentioning you when I was like, I'm gonna go see the assassins. Anybody gonna come with me?
Yeah,
Does Tristan have anything to say?
it's best though. It's best though that Tristan did leave them with him, as you know, the people who were hunting them are now slaughtered. So it was one quest off your guys' list.
Could always check up on that. Be like, so before you killed them, how'd they look like?
Do they look like a bitch?
All right, I'm trying to see where I placed Alnick at. They were in Somia, weren't they? Because I do remember Career going over the bridge in order to get there. I did not write down where I put their first safe house at, so I'm going to say Somia, just because I'm pretty sure that's where it was at. Alright. So, you guys, you could actually feasibly go to the prison, ask about Leroy, and then head to see the assassins to save yourselves some time. Because you're hidden about midday.
Since Brock's already on his way, he could do that.
Yeah. I would do that upon realization.
Alright. So, is everybody cool with going till 11 o'clock tonight, or were we looking to end around 10:30?
I'm good.
Alright.
I'm good.
So you go to the prison. Now, as you get to the bridges in town, these are areas of the river that people have to cross through. And this is where you're going to find the thickest amount of street performers and beggars.
How thick is it? Is it extra thick?
It is thick, but however,
It's thick with 2 C's.
this time Brock is only approached by 11 beggars. And well, actually, I'll cut that in half. 5 of them are beggars, and 5 of them are and 6 of them are street performers. So you are leaving the nicer part of town, headed back towards Somia. This is crossing Maiden's Watch Bridge. Do you shell out any more charity?
Yep, I'll get on 1 copper per beggar, like I've been doing.
Okay. Keep up with it yourself.
I am.
The barracks is made up of a large walled off courtyard. And then looming behind the courtyard are 2 towering stone buildings. Walking inside, the first entranceway towards the dungeons of the 2nd towering stone building is completely gated off with iron bars. Inside, there is one man sitting at a table. He has several tomes around him and a set of keys on the table next to him. Behind him is a locked gate that leads deeper into the prison, and there are 2 guards behind the gate. Standing with torches in front of a large wooden door with metal reinforcements on it. There is more to this room. This is just all Brock can see upon entrance.
Okay. I walk
It
over to
is
the
a
man
very
who's-
dark building, by the way. There are no windows here.
Alright, I walk over to the man sitting with a bunch of tombs.
Okay. He's gonna look up at you and say, "Can I help you?"
I go, yes, my name is Russell Renaball, and I am looking to see if there's an inmate on here. His name is Roy Malik.
He's going to start flipping through the tomes and say, "Would you have any other information about him?"
He was sentenced to life in prison for smuggling.
He says, yes. He puts down the tome he's flipping through and instead stands up, grabs the keys to the gate, and walks down the hallway to past the stone wall. So there is a gated area of iron bars behind his desk, a stone wall that those go into, and he walks past it into another gated area, opens the gate and comes out with another tome, comes back to the desk and puts the tome down, he flips through that one and brings up the person that you're looking for. He moves his hand down and says, "It seems he was in a prisoner transfer caravan to work the ruby mines of..." He leans in closer and says, "Dorage. However, the caravan was attacked, and his body was recovered, and he was dead."
Well, that sucks. Did he have any personal possessions that he may have left behind?
The man shakes his head and says, "That doesn't make any sense. Caravan was attacked, and prisoners were killed." And he says, "Do you know who else was in this caravan?" And "That's my job." He shakes his head and he goes back into the room and pulls out another book.
Uh-oh.
He rolled really well on his intelligence check. That doesn't add up. He checks this book and says, "Several other prisoners in that transfer are working the ruby mines of Hellenis."
So he was the only one killed? Or someone faked his death?
He shakes his head and says, "I'm not certain. I will have to get the records from the council in charge of slavery to see exactly who else was included in this transfer."
Oh boy. So he's missing. May not even actually be dead.
The man nods and says, "I don't take kindly to runaway convicts or slaves."
I don't take kindly to not necessarily that, but I don't take kindly to a missing person who proving to be a very valuable asset in the wrong hands.
Sure, just say that randomly to the guard.
Yeah, the guard's gonna look at you and say, "He was a smuggler. What value could he have to you?"
He was also a professional blacksmith. A very, very talented blacksmith.
Yeah, the man will nod at that and say, "True, I've heard stories of some of the things Mr. Malik was able to forge, but only distant ramblings from my father."
The fact that you've heard his name means that he is of some importance, obviously. I know there are a few people who will like his talent, and I'm really worried now.
The guard nods and says, "Well, you can rest assured. Now that it's been brought to my attention, I will ensure that this is properly handled."
Alright, you continue that. I will continue my own investigation. And I also have a few other things that I need to do, so I'll be on my way.
Alrighty. So the rest of the party, I guess, is was headed to the mercenaries. So that would kind of put everybody meeting up at the same time. Alright, so I don't remember how I described their safe house here, but they would be trying to keep a low profile, especially on this side of town. And of course they would not all be manning the safe house at once, so I'm just going to roll you a die of 1 Alnic, 2 Dove, 3 Moa, or 4 other. Alright. You guys arrive at the safe house. Of course you know it because Career has brought you here before. Walking inside, it is a nice wooden residence. It has several rooms into it. I do remember the interior, as they do have private rooms for their intense conversations that happen with some of the people they bring here. The safe house is mostly abandoned. As you guys step in and look around, you do hear footsteps coming from the basement. Within moments, the charismatic large orc is, or half orc, is looking at you guys with an axe in hand. And says, "Career! We've been trying to get in contact with you for days!" Career, standing behind Brock, is going to smile and wave and say, Where's Dove at? I'm sorry, Alnic. Brain farted for a second. And Dove is going to say, he's in a lean right now, but if you're here, if you're willing to wait on him, Moa should be making her checks in soon, and we can send to get everybody back together. Certainly, you've brought the payment she requested.
Yes, and we will also to discuss the payment and what, in further detail, went down and why the payment increased by such a large amount.
He's going to say, well, you know of the original complications. Turns out we kind of had to murder a councilman in order to get her out of there.
In the background.
Well, part of Embers, that wasn't you guys. Part of Embers. Totally murdered.
Always remember. When in doubt.
Never forgetting.
Also, too, I would like anyone to know, Benjamin Koch used to play in this campaign, and he played in Group 3, and he walked into that house as Moa was murdering the guy. And was just like, what's going on here? What, ah! And ran away. So.
Alright, that's one complication. Why the hell did y'all rescue 2 people?
Dove winks at you and says, we didn't rescue 2 people. Seth was executed and served her sentence. We found Rox Aaron, who is a citizen of Ardor.
It all clicks, and I go, very well. Very well.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, wink back. Wink back with both eyelids, because it took me way too long to get that.
So you blinked a few times?
And Dove's gonna say, She's not gonna be very happy when you get her back. But of course, once payment's arranged, she's all yours.
Okay. Wonder why she's unhappy. Probably because of the amount of time it took for us to get back to her.
I mean,
Yeah!
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Yeah,
Let's
Dove
go.
says, yeah! Putting his large fist on your shoulder.
I like these guys.
I am going to turn this up and go.
Because they didn't try to kill
Look,
her.
our
Right,
position was
baggage, so you're right.
compromised. I mean, I guess it was compromised once if y'all were able to kidnap me. It was compromised the second time, so I figured it was best to move. I'm sorry we didn't give you any word ahead of time.
He nods and says, hey, I completely understand. Sometimes when you kill the wrong person, you gotta go dark for a few days.
Right?
Right? Dove understands us. Dove understands us.
I'm not sure we should take comfort in the fact
That we're having a moment of like understanding a bunch of assassins.
I mean, everybody hates on mercenaries, but you gotta do what a mercenary's gotta do.
I wonder. Like,
Nobody hates the baker for baking bread.
I want to take a career and just.
Brett doesn't have a family.
judge her expression right now.
Wait, what
Brett
expression?
doesn't have a family.
Like how we're having this heart to heart about, if someone with me kills the wrong person, you have to go dark for a few days. Like, and we're totally in agreement with this. Alright, I don't think she's okay with this conversation at all.
Yeah, career, like, looking at you, she's been trying to stop from breaking the law. She's officially nobility. She's achieved her life goal. She's trying to straighten up now.
She's already broke bad. She's trying to break good.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the problem is she married the wrong noble. She a good noble.
I think she just wants to go to like white collar crime.
I don't even think she wants that. I think she just wants to, live her life in luxury, and she's finding out that she married the wrong noble to, quietly live her life.
She's just gonna, like, she's got her arms folded, and not the way that they're tucked in angrily, but more so like holding your elbows. And she's gonna say, so, when's Moa gonna be here? Dove is gonna say, I don't know. She should have been here by now already. It's on her list of stops. And, Career, nods looking towards the door and says, well, how much do we owe you then? He says for supplies, the danger, how long we had to keep her on ice, the new identity, 1,500 gold. Career nods and looks towards Brock.
I'm going to turn towards Dove and be like, for the blackout, can we make it 800 gold?
Oh, roll me a charisma check.
Charisma or persuasion?
Persuasion.
Every time I need an important roll.
Yeah, Dove is
plus 11 in persuasion.
Dove is going to say 1,200.
I will reply with the quoted thing in the letter and go 1,000, and I will roll persuasion again.
Yeah, he's gonna say the 1,000 was for the, and you're in a skill check, so it gets difficult the more failures. But he's gonna say the
Okay.
1,000 was for, was on top of the additional 500 I already quoted you.
I thought I paid the 500 up front.
You paid up front originally for the job, and then remember they told you there were complications when you came back to check on it. And so they were going to need another 500 gold.
Alright, how about 800 gold and 200 rubies.
Dove is going to shrug, and oh wait, actually, he's charismatic, but he's not smart. He's gonna shrug and say, "Money's money," and not even realize that it doesn't add up to the amount he quoted. And say, "As long as you pay me the right amount."
All right, I hand over 800 gold and 200 rubies.
Now, never stay angry at Draylin Madison. You just learn the art of the deal.
Oh, wait, that's what it is. He hates him because he's basically our Donald Trump.
Paid the man.
Alright. Do you guys wait there for Moa?
Am I here right now?
Yeah, the whole party got to the safe house at the same time.
I'm going to turn to Dub and just ask him for Alnic's location because I'm assuming, or ask him, hey, is Alnic with Rock's Aaron? Give him a wink, and then if so, can I have the location? I'll go meet with them.
He's gonna look real uncomfortable at that and say, well, I can't give away the new safe house, but with the predicament that she's in, it's best if we drop her off to you.
Oh, God.
Alright then, just drop her off at the Nacre Manor, and we will be there.
He says, wait, the Nacre Manor? I thought you were staying with that sage.
Yeah, this is our new location. Remember, we had to, kill the wrong person, and our location was compromised. This is our new place.
And he nods and says, okay, yes, we'll drop her off as soon as we can.
All right. I am leaving before Moa. Cannot pronounce that name.
Moa.
Before Moa gets back. I'm peacing out.
Funny that you should say that because as you head to the door, there is a the door swings open. There is a man who is standing in front of the door in front of you. Or rather, in the doorway. He says nothing. He has a dry expression on his face. And his skin is clammy and pale.
Moa was a woman, right?
Yes.
Do I recognize this man?
You can roll a perception check. But no, you don't.
Alright. Something is off. I turn to Dove and go, Dove, do you recognize this man?
Yeah, Dove doesn't at all seem concerned. He looks over and says, Cash, get out of the way! I'm
not sure.
Thanks, Alexa. Stop. Alexa, do not disturb me? Sorry about that.
Do not disturb is also enabled.
Well, then don't interrupt me! Anyways, yeah, Dub says, get out of the way, Cash. The man groans and lumbers aside, freeing the doorway. He steps into the room and just kind of sits there. He smells awful as he walks by you.
I nod my head to him as I leave, and Career leaves, and Nathan leaves, and Aaron leaves, and everybody else can decide whether they're going to stay or not.
Roman Urkus and Tristan, do you guys leave or stay?
And just like I left, just like I did too.
I mean, Roman and I have nothing to do. Can help
Like,
Tristan find
Tristan
his
will
family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we all know Tristan and Brock's relationship, so.
Yeah, well, nobody's asked Dove about Tristan's family.
not my business.
JD, are you there?
I am.
Is Tristan gonna ask Dove about his family?
Yeah.
Alright, how's he go about the conversation?
With conversation.
Great. Yeah, if you ask about them, Dove is going to say, huh? Oh, yeah. I found them on a farm, in the north part of town. But when you asked me to, bring your daughter and wife safely into town, you didn't mean with all their toes, right? They didn't need all of them.
Tristan will take a couple of steps closer to Dove and sort of attempt... How tall is Dove?
He is about 6'4".
Okay.
I'm
Tristan will
upset.
look
I'm
up
taller
to,
than a half orc.
Dove and say, I know you intended that as some sort of joke, but believe me when I say, do not joke about my family, or it may be the last thing that you ever live to regret.
He's gonna say, lighten up, it's just a joke, They got most of their toes
just a joke
anyways.
About my family, you know. Just those people that are most important in my life.
I thought that was us.
Yeah, he's gonna nod and say, and because it's the holidays, and I'm such a cheerful man, I've convinced Moed that we'd take this job on pro bono. Is that the right word? Let me Google search that.
Yes.
I mean, that sounds right.
If you mean for free, then yes.
Yes. But he continues and says, they're with Moa. She's pretty much, after I was attacked, we pretty much decided it was best for her to protect them. And since she roams the city, they wanted to see the festival, and it's better than staying lunkered down in a basement with a prisoner or playing watch out.
Right. Can you take me to them?
He looks towards the window and says, well, if Cash is here, Moa should be here any second. And he nods towards the pale man in the corner and says, that's her Thrall. She normally sends it to scout for her in places. Do you guys continue to wait on her? Or...
I guess I'd ask Tristan if he'd want some privacy, given it's his family.
Tristan will not dignify that with a response.
Alrighty. We'll be on our way then.
Alright.
So yeah, Urkus and I guess we'll go. Oh wait, you guys are about to go see Seth, aren't you? We need
Seth
to
is
keep
dead.
a good. Oh yes, the new lady.
What's your face? What's his
Right,
name?
Aaron.
Rocks,
We
Aaron.
probably need to make sure that there's a body between her and Brock.
No, she's going. Well, I've already left. I left a while ago.
We need to hurry.
True.
Yeah,
But what about Jessica, who is probably might still be there? I'm not sure.
While you guys are discussing this, leading two other women has, I don't know, I think only half the party's seen Moa before. Moa is a very short woman. She dresses in brown trousers and a dirty rough tunic with a small red cloak kind of draped over her shoulder as kind of a half cape, half cloak. She's got long white hair, and she constantly has a very angry expression on her face. Walking behind her are two Thatrine Friths, which I don't know if I wrote down a physical description for them or if you gave me one, JD. I'm about to pull up the Google Drive document. But yes, Tristan recognizes his wife and his eldest daughter, Amelia and Miriam.
Tristan will,
they rush to you immediately as they see you and burst past Mo and
attempt
hug
to
you.
intercept them on that front.
Oh, it's a loving moment. As you guys reconnect, Moa looks towards Dove and says, "Oh, good, they're back. We can finally get them off our hair. Did the other one pay?" Dove nods and says, "Negotiated me down to 1,200, but it's enough to cover our expenses." She nods as he hands her the bag of coins. I am still pulling up my D&D sheet so I can see their personalities. Me DM good!
I'm gonna go ahead and start making my way out in motion just like in Roman.
My folder that I keep all my notes in on my drive is called Me DM Good. It's beautiful. Okay, this is not the updated one. Let me search one more time because I know you sent me the stuff with their personalities on it. I know I put it someplace. Anyways, we're going off the cuff. I do remember most of the stuff about your wife. As the document I have in front of me doesn't have her personality, but I remember you describing her to me and then us deciding she was of the Chantry of Unity. And true to her water spirit, she doesn't seem to have any anger about her of, not being able to connect with Tristan. Instead, she just seems very happy in the embrace for a moment before she finally pulls back and says, We searched the manor for you, and we didn't know where to find you, and there were..."
He places a finger to her lips and says, "I was away. I am sorry."
She hugs you again before kissing you, and then saying, "Well, as long as we can spend the wake together, that's why Miriam and I came." And she looks back towards the door and says, "Besides, the goddess teaches of forgiveness, and I would bring shame to her path if I didn't accept that in my own heart." She looks to you and says, "Surely you've been recording your travels here? I'd love to read of the things you accomplished."
Tristan nods and says, "Of course, but surely you will forgive me for just wanting to spend some time with each of you. I can have a scribe copy the contents of my journal. But for now, we are together, and that is what I would like to focus on.
Hands his journal to Urkus. Erase the murder.
Which one?
No. If you recall, Tristan and his wife have had talks about Tristan's goals, and she's on board.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's mentioned in the backstory.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that part. I didn't know how much of his plan she was filled in on.
I mean, that's a good point.
But Miriam is.
Hey, so remember when you said you were in on this whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about murder? Lots and lots of murder.
Career looks to her and's like, so your husband murders people too, and you hate it? Yeah, cool. maybe Brock and Tristan will bond over something. No, but
Not likely.
Not likely.
Miriam is going to tug on your arm and say, the mean lady wouldn't take us near the Chantry of Discipline, but can we see the fire goddess while we're in town?
Tristan nods and says, absolutely.
She claps and hugs you. Moa, if you guys haven't figured it out now, obvious necromancer, rolls her eyes and says, great, can you guys leave now?
Tristan will roll his eyes and he'll roll his eyes and say, well, I suppose if we're stifling your activities, then we shall be off.
Before you go, Dove walks up to you and holds a arm out for kind of that full arm shake.
Yeah.
And he's gonna say, I'm glad I could help your family reconnect. He's gonna continue and say, you made some black market thieves pretty upset. I was doing some business in Aline with your family when they attacked me. I'd avoid the livestock market.
Oh, it's them.
Tristan nodded, will nod and say, right.
And he nods in the shake and says, but I took out 3 of them. Got real bloody, sent them a message. Shouldn't be bothering you anymore.
Tristan will nod once more and say, right. Meanwhile, JD is thinking, my experience points!
Yeah, those guys were the 3 guys you guys attacked, and not specifically just those 3, but when everybody was like wondering, who have we gotten angry that we haven't killed other than Draylin? Those are the only 3. Or rather, the people, the only people you guys have upset that you haven't murdered. So.
That's because they almost murdered them. Because that was the time Brock was like, yeah, I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah. Otherwise, you guys are free to go. As it is going to take Moa a while to count 1,200 coins before she realizes Brock chipped him.
That's kind of the main reason why I wanted to go, as soon as she showed up, like, oh shit.
That's the reason why Brock was out before she got there.
Alright.
Please and humble assassins. Be ashamed.
I feel like that's a good place to end. Let's get a direction for the party so we know where to pick up next session. What's everybody aiming to do?
Take the day off.
Yeah, I was about to say it'd be pretty good to just I think we could just let everybody enjoy the festival and the party reconvenes the next day.
Okay, it's like what, midday now?
And then someone
Yeah,
I'll
it's
have to
the
bring
afternoon.
Up the question. I'll bring up the question. So where's my rule? Has anybody seen him?
We will never hear from him again.
Yeah,
That was the last anybody heard of it.
next time you guys see Draylin, he might have a new vampire thrall. Oh, nobody told Anadelia.
About the
what?
mirror.
Yeah, what happened with
It's on
Draylin?
the to-do list.
Oops.
On the to-do list.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Brock's on his way back to the mansion, so you know.
Yeah.
he's done that.
I have a free Monday, and I'm going to be traveling a lot. So I will say I will be willing to do that with an RP with you guys through Docs. I'll post it when I get it ready, just because that's pretty important. Just what her disposition is towards the mirror, because that kind of affects everybody's sessions. Group 1, and if she's preoccupied, do they get reinforcements before they die? And then Group 3, as in Draylin has been actively using the mirror, and needs to know if Anadelia tries to bust in there and take it or what. So.
Wait, who was asking us to save them?
I'm pretty sure Group 3's in jail.
Wait, who is asking you to save them?
Yeah, in the chat.
Group 3, I think.
I don't know who it was. Cupcake was asking us.
Of group have.
Adamare.
Oh, yeah, that's that's Group 1. They are so I don't know if I revealed what Anadelia does to this for this group, but she has lots of information available to her. She has ways of like spying on people, and Group 1 knows that she's constantly watching them, and so they had their scribe just like SOS Anadelia for help in the battle that they're currently entrenched in.
Wouldn't that be us?
Yeah, that's actually they were saying Group 2. Anadelia, please send Group 2 to help us.
Nah, we're gonna stay here and
Should we
enjoy these
really
roast
see
sticks of
Group
butter.
one?
Wait, are we saving Group 1 or Group 3?
This is Group 1, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
We
fuck
really
those
wanna
guys.
save the murder hobo? I don't think we really want to
They
save
didn't want
the
to
The
think
murder
which one
hobos,
you
yes,
go.
but also, if I could speak in a moment of level-headedness, if you befriend the murder hobos don't kill you.
Wait.
It's true, and now I have a bunch of.
How many people have the murder hobos befriended and then backstabbed?
They kidnapped your sister, and now they're best buds.
Yeah, I would say it's probably the opposite. How many people have they backstabbed that they're like, hey, you're alright?
You know, if you get past that kidnapping thing, you guys are all right.
I mean, like brother, like sister. We're twins for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You're right, you got kidnapped, and now you're.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. You married your kidnapper. It was accidental.
Once you get past
You know how they
the
have genetic disorders? Your guys' is apparently.
Wow, that's awesome that kind of came around. Anyways, I'm gonna do experience for tonight. Generally good session. Jessica had anybody could have entered the tournament. There was a place for everybody.
We only have one bard.
We only have one bard.
Yeah,
We only have one person that can throw good.
but That was kind of my bad for not describing all of the events a little bit better, but there is a second round of it too, which, you know, you guys can convince Jessica to go spend the second half of the day at.
Apparently it breaks out into fights. I wish I had known that.
Well, that was just that one guy I wanted to throw down with faulty.
Yeah, I mean, that's a legitimate strategy, just entering, throwing poorly, and just be like, hey, I bet I can punch you. Anyway.
Throw hands better than I throw spears.
Good session. Jessica actually almost lost that fight. That guy was a level 5 fighter, and
I'm one of those.
Yeah. He was rolling exceptionally well, and she was rolling really, really bad. I'm going to say 500 for just generally a good session. Yeah, 500 for wrapping up some more quest lines. An additional bonus 250 for Jessica coming in first place in the tournament, because she could have placed in any of the other slots. What else happened tonight? Oh! Bonus 250 directly to Tristan for finally meeting his wife.
Da-da-da-da.
And I think I'm going to give another 250 to everybody for the letters, because I had generally forgotten that you guys just hadn't been back to the manor in that long until Brock, you know, wanted to go back to the manor. Otherwise,
Good thing he did. Good job on front.
Yeah.
Everyone forgot to have their mail forwarded.
How much total?
So far I'm at 1,500 for everybody and 1,750 for Tristan. I'm trying to think if anything else significant happened.
What about me?
Wait, is that Wesley?
Yeah. What about me?
2,000 experience to Tobias tonight.
Hey.
For...
Hey. Write that shit down. We not need to talk about that at some point, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I would love for Tobias to be reintroduced to the storyline someplace. He's one of my favorite characters.
Is Group 3 even meeting anymore?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to them. They're supposed to meet Monday. But by the way, I think you were there for that session, Wesley. Ben walked into the house that Moa was murdering the councilman in, and he walked in on her undead Thrall. And that was the thing that tried to grapple him, as he was like, what the fuck is this? And ran away.
I missed that one. I've been trying to listen in to Group 3's session just because I want to see how they implode, but, you know.
Yeah, well, Ben's long since, you know, quit Group 3, but I don't know what's going to happen with him. Anyways, I'm going to end the broadcast there. Your guys' next session is on the 23rd. And